Jaime, you're so Mexican, and wow, Roberto Dominguez, qué racista saliste. Had Nintendo consoles back in your days? Wow, I didn't know that Nintendo was that old, and ha. It's the haircut, and I'm glad you like it. I like it too. That's right, it's that time of the week. I am Jaime Rivera. This is Pocket Now, and this is the Pocketnow Daily Recap for last week, brought to you by lynda.com. So on Monday, I asked you if everything that you've seen would make you want to buy an Apple Watch, as surveys say that millions of people want to buy one. We have 1,375 comments, thanks a lot guys, out of which Sergio Velasco says, "Wearing the LG G Watch R at the moment. No way I'm switching to an overpriced piece of garbage from Apple. And in your case, you'd have to switch the phone as well, so you've made the good choice." Same here. Wrongderp says, "Not only does Apple Watch not look good, which is the biggest reason why I'm not buying it, but I don't own an iPhone, so I have no use for it." And yeah, that's going to be the case for many. Neron says, "Less than a day of battery life. Way too many gimmicks. Jacked up price. This release isn't as amazing as the iPhone's release in 2007. That keynote actually made me want to buy an iPhone. Nope, not sold for this one. Sorry, Apple." And that's going to be the case for a lot of people. A lot of people don't trust Apple in their first generation products, and we will see eventually. Then on Tuesday, I asked you what particular games would you want from Nintendo, as the company has finally smelled the coffee, and they will bring Nintendo games to the masses on smartphones. We have 923 comments, out of which one of them says, "I think Nintendo should make all the titles available on Android and iOS. I should like to pay for the exact titles that I want, and that would be the smartest strategy, but very hard to assume if that'll happen." And Hunter says, "It's about time Nintendo opens up. They finally admitted no one wants to buy the Wii U to buy a game. I'll take one order of Mario Kart, please, and add me to that list, please, as well." And Seth says, "Unfortunately, DNA stated that it will focus on new titles with Nintendo branding. So Jaime probably won't see Smash Brothers anytime soon for mobile. Nintendo still doesn't understand what fans want. The only reason Nintendo has fans is purely for nostalgia, and they don't seem to understand it as well as expected." And great comment. That is exactly true. That is the point. Nintendo seriously doesn't get it yet. Hopefully they do eventually. On Wednesday, I asked you if you would pay $5,000 for a tag-heuer-smartwatch, as the company's teaming up with Google to bring us some Android Wear love on an expensive watch band. We have 379 comments, out of which Grammar Nazi says, "I'm getting the 18-karat gold Apple Watch. So no, I'm not interested in the tag-heuer model. Carat. Dude, aren't you supposed to be the grammar Nazi?" And King says, "5K for an Apple Watch. That's basically like throwing your money in the yard and selling a match for it. 5K for a tag-heuer smartwatch. Since it would be like an investment, that would retain the majority of its value? Absolutely. That all depends, dude. This is still a gadget. Meaning Android will eventually die on this thing or whatever, so it's not really the case." And Erico says, "5K for a watch that will last forever, or 5K for a smartwatch that will last until they stop the software updates. I think I've already decided. Of course, I could not afford a 5K watch." Right, that's the first point, but you've got a good point as well. Who would pay so much money for a product that would be obsolete a year from now? Then on Thursday, I asked you if you would go to an Apple store to give an Apple Watch a try, as Apple is going to give you 15 minutes of a demo of what it's like and then try to sell it to you. We have 441 comments, out of which William says, "I will go try the Apple Watch but won't buy one, and I think that's the smartest thing. Just go to an Apple store, give it a try, and see how that goes." And Nick S says, "I trust Apple, so I'm going to pre-order without trying. I've seen enough from the videos to know how to use it and what finish, band, of color options I want. If I don't like it, I can always return it. No harm done. Pretty sure I won't though, and that's the advantage you guys have in the US and other countries. You can just return a product. That doesn't happen in every other country. So yeah, you could always just give it a try and return it. That's the cool thing. If you've got the option, go ahead." And Comgen Soldier JC says, "A 15-minute walkthrough is more than enough to tell users that either they are not that bright, or they just have too much time to waste. It's a watch unlike a smartphone, which is a full-blown device that would make sense to have a walkthrough. And this is not like every other smartwatch, so I do believe that the walkthrough is in order. Mainly because I feel that this is probably the most convoluted UI that Apple has ever done, and I would need some explaining here, so I'm sure everybody else will as well." And then finally on Friday, I asked you if you were looking out for the second generation Moto 360 as Lenovo CEO showed off the next generation Moto 360. And sad news for me, for example. We have 327 comments, out of which one of them says, "I like the look of the Moto 360, but the software just isn't there yet. That is the only thing that's holding me back from a purchase, and to be honest with you, the only reason why I bought the Moto 360 is because I like the way it looks so much that I really don't care about the software. It's useful, but it looks so good as a watch that I really don't care about the software again," which is mainly the reason you would buy any typical watch. There is no software, you just care about the way it looks. Then Sugar-Free Target says, "I'm still having a hard time understanding why anyone would buy a smartwatch, other than just having the latest piece of technology." Well, it's not the latest piece of technology in my opinion. It's like a couple of years ago technology, sadly. I feel that smartwatches are not there yet. Again, the only reason why I like the Moto 360 is because I like the way it looks as a watch particularly. Then Roshan says, "There's no doubt that the next generation Moto 360 will have to have a better OS, but the million-dollar question is whether it will also come with improved battery life. If Moto could pull out a week's battery life, the Apple Watch would be doomed." And dude, you have a point right there. Battery life is really the biggest problem with smartwatches except the Pebble, so whichever company figures that one out will have the market. But then Pebble did and they still don't. And folks, if you've ever wanted to become a pro in web design, learn how to build a cupcake, or even build a cool video like this one, there are thousands of awesome courses at our sponsor, lynda.com/pocketnow. That's lynda.com/pocketnow for a free 10-day trial. That's it for our Pocketnow Daily Recap. Thank you very much for watching. A couple of tips if you want your comments to be featured. Number 1, keep them short. Number 2, stick to the point. Number 3, try to get some thumbs up. It helps us spot them a lot easier. You can also follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, and you can follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I am Jaime Rivera. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you next week.